Hello guys, welcome back to the MVC database tutorial project. Well, okay, here's the thing, I'm not doing this as an MVC project anymore. I mean, it sorta is. One of the main changes I've already made is that there's a main file, a GUI file, and a database. So we have our main, we have our view with the GUI, then the controller with the database script, but I really want to create some functions in the main script that interacted with the database and GUI script in the MVC format where the main script can access both of them and modify them. But the more I start thinking about it, the more I need to use classes. Like here I have the class main, which uses a function and the initialization. I went over classes a little bit in my basic Python tutorial series, but me being pretty dumb, I did not use classes for my GUI script or my database script, which kind of makes this code hard to reuse and reorganize in an MVC format. And I'm going to be honest, at this point I'm kind of tired of this project. I want to move on, and I just want to end it as it is. So basically now, instead of running this from the GUI script, I run it from the main script. Just give it a sec. Alright, so everything is the same as before. Well, not really. There is a plot diagram, which when I click the show plot button, it will show whatever elements I've clicked in the checkbox. So for the x-axis I check name, it'll show name in the x-axis. Let me just scroll this up. And over here I've chosen expense, and it'll show expense for the y-axis. And I'll show this from the database. So the database has 3 items, and the income, which is the 4th element, the expense 5th, revenue 6th, and taxes 7th, are also listed in the record. So if I were to recreate the diagram, it now shows the email for the x and the taxes for the y, because that's what's selected. And one thing it doesn't show on the GUI but the main script handles is this. It takes the losses. It's the find riches function in the main script. This will take the losses and the profits from each of the items in the table. It will calculate their unaccounted losses, then it will organize them, and then it will print out 4 statements. It will print out the person who has the least profit is the first guy in this case with his email. Person with the highest profit, 3rd guy, with their email. Person with the least unaccounted loss, 3rd guy. And then the person with the highest unaccounted loss being the 1st guy. This is data being done in the main script. I wanted to do this into the GUI, basically put this information into the GUI, but again, I didn't really create a class for the GUI, and I don't feel like reorganizing 500 lines of code into a class format. I mean, I can do it, I just really don't want to. I'm lazy. I'm really lazy about this, and I'm really tired working with this. It's not that I'm tired of coding, I'm just tired of making a video. Not making a video, I'm tired of coding for a video format, because it's not like I have to just code. I have to code, then I have to go and make the video about the code, and that takes a few days, because, you know, I'm not really the best video maker, video editor. And then all of that with, you know, my channel being pretty low in subscribers and views. And that's the thing with my channel, I don't really make views on coding, it seems. I made a couple of videos on gaming PCs, and I will get back to that, you know, once new hardware comes out this summer, this July, and later in the fall. But for now, I'm not going to make any videos on that, so I'm going to expand a bit. I'm going to expand away from code. And in the description box of this video, I'm going to leave a link to my GitHub page. I'm going to have all these 3 scripts posted in my GitHub. You guys can check out this code from the GitHub and, you know, use it for your own projects, learn from it. I will be doing a lot more code on GitHub. I'm just not going to be making videos about it. I can code a lot faster when I'm not taking the time to make videos. So that'll be a huge time saver. I'm pretty sure by the end of July I'll have like 4 projects upload it to my GitHub, so definitely check my GitHub every now and then if you want, you know, to learn a little bit more about code. I might make a website too later on. A website just for code and some of my other content. Speaking of my other content, I'm going to take this weekend to think about what I want to do. I'll probably post this video tomorrow, which is Saturday, June 20th, so I'm recording this on the 19th. So sometime next week I'll post a video doing a channel update. I want to move to other topics, maybe go back to my roots with Linux tutorials and Linux topics. So yeah. Alright, I guess I should probably start explaining what I've done with the code. Well, for one, I've done organization. The GUI scripts and the database scripts no longer have the import OS. The OS emptying out is now done with os.systemclear. It's done in the init for the main. The init also calls the richest, the function I have up here, find richest. And the last thing it does is it calls root.main loop, which is from the GUI script. It used to be in the bottom, but I've moved it. But let me get back to the GUI script in a little bit. Let me just go with the database script right now. So the variables are the same. The import is SQLite3. Sorry for the fireworks sounds from the outside. I'm not sure what's going on outside. Anyway, I still have the create database script. I have the show table script. I'm gonna leave this, the function. I'm gonna leave the show table function because it's for testing. You guys can use it too. I just don't really see a need to remove it. Update is mostly the same. Actually, it's entirely the same. I don't think I've done any changes with the database script. And I'm unsure because it's been so long since I made the last video, I've kind of forgotten what I did. Well, one thing that I've done differently is I've commented out the print query output. That's because the output in the terminal should only come from the main script. And most of it is coming from the find richest function, so I don't think anything else needs to print for now. Plot show for the plot diagram is the same. Delete is the same. Yeah, basically database.py is the same as it was in the last video. Mostly the same. So moving on to GUI. From GUI we still have the imports. These are exactly the same as before. Our variables are a little changed. Instead of just toggle, I also have the... Well, I'm not sure if I had toggle and drawn in the before, but I now have app open, drawn, toggle. Actually, hang on. Where am I using app open? Because I'm pretty sure I deleted the function I was using app open for. Sorry, it's been a while. It's probably in one of these functions. Because I can get rid of this. App open is not here. Plot API. This is where drawn is used and toggle is used. There are sub functions I've created here. These deal with the toggle. So down here I have the checkboxes, all the code related checkboxes. From TTK I've created a checkbox. It uses a variable. There's 6 checkboxes, so for each checkbox I've created a variable, variables 1 through 6. These are integer variables and they're either 1 or 0. I guess they should have been bool, but for now I'll just leave them as integers. And in these functions, email place, income place, they basically check the check state string and then they check the variable, and if it's 1 they'll change the check state to the name and then they'll set the other one to 0. For name and email, if 1 is checked the other is set to 0. For income, If one is checked, the other 3 are set to 0. So that's why it toggles every time I click the checkboxes, even though they're not bools. Really went the hard code way. Honestly, I'm not even explaining this in the best way, because a lot of this code I've written days ago. Some of them are over a week old, and I really wasn't paying attention. So I'm sorry. I'm really not into this. Just making videos for code. I think I'm better off just writing it in my GitHub, and then you guys can check it on your own. And then for, you know, more content, I'll just move on to Linux, maybe news, Linux news or tech news, and maybe some more Linux work with that. I'll see. Anyways, we have our class. We have the first function, find riches. It has 6 lists and 4 more lists. These lists are modified solely in function, whereas the first 6 lists are called from plot show. So it takes the same plot show from database. Takes the name, email, income, expense, revenue, and taxes. We have 4 variables. Creates copies of the lists and then works on adding items within the lists to find the profit loss and losses and differences. Yeah, I don't know. I'm done. I'm tired with this. I don't think I'm even gonna I don't know. Since the video is coming out tomorrow, I guess I will comment most of the code just to show what it's doing. I'm not going to put the comments in this video, but I'll do it after. Basically, this is the code. What you see here is mostly what's going to be on the GitHub. I'm just going to add a few more comments. Other than that, it's going to be the exact same code. Yeah. Anyway guys, that's all I wanted to go over. Expect a video from me sometime next week about a channel update, and then beyond that, by the end of the month, I should start making videos on new content. And I guess I'll just leave my GitHub page on the description box of some of my videos in the future. So for those of you who do want to follow my coding tutorials, you guys can check me out on GitHub, and you know, I might just make a website, honestly. In the next few coming months, I might just make a website for coding content. Anyways, well, maybe. Anyways, see you guys.